and welcome. I'm Shan Beckett and this is Lyra, and I'm here to give you practical guidance during your spiritual awakening. And in this video I'm going to give you a few tips on manifestation. I've been doing this now for the last year, and 2020, which is when I'm making this video, we've really needed some help this year because there's been a lot of changes, a lot of strange things going on. Manifestation is a good way to get yourself back on track because we've got a bit more time on our hands this year than we have other times to do meditation and other spiritual practices. But manifestation, I find that I watched a lot of videos. Jim Carrey was one of them. Tony Robbins is another on Netflix that give you tips and guidance on manifestation. But practically talking, I'm going to tell you how I have integrated it into my life, because I've been brought up in a family that, that tell you that you need to work hard, nothing comes easy, and sometimes it's ingrained into you that that's the way things are. So it's really difficult to get to grips with doing the manifestation process where you're like believing that you've won the lottery, or you're believing that money just comes in, or you're really successful. It's really hard for someone that's been brought up by a Capricorn and a Cancer that were very, very hard working and didn't really believe in anything spiritual, that you can actually manifest your own destiny. They've brought me up in a very human way, and they haven't taught me that things come easy. So it's a bit more difficult for me to believe that the manifestation process works. So I'll tell you what I've done and what maybe you might be in my position where it's really, really difficult. And especially when things bring you down and negative things happen to you. I mean, we all get it. Life's life. We're only living a human life after all. So you'll have someone in the family that passes away, or someone needs your help. One of your friends is split up with her partner and she moves in with you, and you get all these distractions that stop you from believing in magic, which is what the law of attraction really needs you to do. But it's really, really difficult. So the first thing to do is write a list and have it split down the middle, where you write a list of things that you can do. So write a list of something silly like, I'm going to enjoy every morning my coffee at Costa, or I'm going to enjoy a swim every day and enjoy having fun with my friends. These sort of things that are quite simple things that you know. So things that you're grateful for, because the universe won't bring you anything until you're grateful for what you've already got. So you need to write the list down of what you're grateful for on the one side. And they can only be little simple things. And then on the other side, you need to write down things that you think are believable, realistic, however you'd like to put it. Because personally, I couldn't put, I'm grateful for my morning coffee, and in present tense put, I've won the lottery, which is what a lot of people think. They think that the law of attraction means they're going to come into some money, win some money. Yes, that is what can happen, but it depends on your life path as well, because my life path is to teach people how to practice spirituality in a practical way. So if I wanted to win the lottery, they'd be like, sorry, Shan, you can't win the lottery because you need to do this. We need you to do this. This is what you planned. So quite often your guides and your spirits and your angels will want you put on a set path, or not a set path. There are a variety. You've always got choices, but ultimately your higher self knows what you should be doing in this life. So if you were going to win the lottery, you might have planned that before you came down here. So when you write on your other side, after you've written the stuff you're grateful for, on the other side you need to write a list of things that you think you can achieve. And what you do then is, as each thing becomes reality, you then rewrite your list. So it's not like it's, vision boards are good as well if you want to draw, if you're good at art and you want to draw a picture, and even if you're not good at art and you want to just draw something, that your dream house, or I have done my dream house. I haven't got it with me now, but I've drawn like an architectural drawing of what my dream house is going to be. So you can do those because they're really, really good to have something visual around the house that you can see. Or some people do vision boards where they get a magazine, they cut everything out and they stick it on. So you can do it however you like. So on this side, you're going to put in present tense all the things you want. I have a lovely car. I have a happy relationship. I have 2 children. Whatever you want. I have a career which pays a lot of money and I do very little hours. I have a job that works around my family. Whatever you want that you think in your head, you can convince yourself to believe that you've already got it, because that's the trick. You've got to believe you're a millionaire. If you're going to win the lottery, you've got to visualize and believe that you've got all that money. And that's a really difficult thing to do, to trick your mind to believing you've got something that you haven't. It's the most impossible task. So the best thing you can do is start to write a list that's more believable, practical, realistic. When those things start to become a reality, it will give you the confidence to dream bigger. And the next list you put, you'll be a little bit more inventive and think, I've got my own swimming pool, I've got a house, a holiday home in Spain, or whatever you want. I mean, I'm just coming up with some of the things I've put down. But if you start to believe the achievable things that you've put on your list, you can rewrite a list that's more elaborate or more what you'd think at the moment would be far-fetched, because you're thinking, oh my God, this law of attraction works. It really, really works. I'll give you an example. I kept thinking, right, because the more you worry about not having any money, the more bills come through the door and the less money you have. So I went for a stage of just not checking my bank account balance online, because I used to do it every day, which is a bit of a habit. So I just stopped checking. And it's funny because the more you don't bother and think, oh, I've got plenty of money. My sister asked to borrow money. Normally I'd be asking for it back. And I said, you know what, just keep it. I've got plenty. And you've got to have the mindset of having it already. And it's very, very hard to do. Another thing is, get yourself some crystals. The best crystal for manifestation is just clear quartz. So wash it in salt water before, put it in the moonlight or the sunlight to charge it. And then when you're doing your manifestation techniques and writing your list, have your crystal with you. I've got a whole bunch of them now, which I never used to have before. And this will start to work. And I'll tell you some things that have happened to me, which they haven't happened they'll never happen in the circumstance that you imagine they're going to happen. So I dreamed that I kept thinking to myself, oh, I just got rid of my car because a friend of mine, her car broke, and she's got a young child, and I've known her for a long time, love her to death. And I thought, here you are, I'll sell you my car for less than it's worth and you can pay me monthly, because we were in lockdown and I was walking to my other job and it didn't really matter. And then my work decided to start moving me somewhere where I had to be quite far away. And I was like, oh, I could really do with like a really small little car. Now, I was thinking this thought quite often. It wasn't something I'd even put on my list. It was just a little thought. I thought, because I could go and buy a car if I wanted one. I thought, oh, it'd be really... And unfortunately, my nana passed away this year, and my granddad said to me, I know you won't spend this much money on a car, and I know you can't afford it, but I'd really like Nana's car to stay in the family. You can have it. Which is not the way that I wanted the law of attraction to work. It's not what I imagined would happen. But I have got that little car. I kept looking at the cars very similar, thinking, oh, I'd love a little car like that. And I've got that car. But it's hard, because you're going to think, instead of thinking, oh, that was a law of attraction, you might think, you'd be so sad, like I was so sad about my nan passing away. I wasn't really grateful for the car that I just received from her, because I wanted her. So sometimes in the list, you're going to get things in ways that you think are just, oh, well, I got it because Nana passed away and it was really rubbish. But actually, it was on your list and you got what you wanted. And it's very, very hard to put the two things together and not think practically and think, well, this is nothing to do with my list. And it will be. Nothing's a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. So that's it. Write your list. Grateful. And everything's got to be, I have this. I have a house in Spain. I have a new car. I have the job of my dreams. I'm in a happy relationship. And don't get me wrong, it's not like Google search. You're not going to get it like now. You might get it in a year's time. And they'll only bring it to you when you're ready. So just bear that in mind. You're not going to get things immediately. Now keep going. Write your list. Comment below and tell me what you've put on your list. And just think as big as you can, because some people, if you're a Leo out there, they think really big in general because that's just their personality. So it will be really easy for them. If you're a Capricorn, it'll be extremely difficult to believe in the unbelievable. And I'll send you lots of love from this video, and I'll see you next time.